Jimmy, it's great to meet you.
Tony, likewise. How you doing, sir? You good?
I'm good. I get to talk with you, a brilliant actor, and your voice work is spot on, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I need to do more. Everyone keeps saying so. Needs to speak to the agent.
I'll make some calls. I come from a family of voice actors, and so
Oh wow.
yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
there.
No, I'd love to. I'd love to.
Well, let's talk about the tower. What an amazing, nail gripping, kind of mystery series this is. It's so well written.
Thank you so much. Look, I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of Homeland, so the opportunity to get to work with Patrick Harbison, I was never going to turn that down. But that made sense as soon as I read the first script for season one, and so to still be a part of it and to see how he elevated season two. It's much darker. It's dangerous. It comes out the gate fast and furious. And like you say, there's a mystery to it. There's nuance to it, and I feel like it is the same show, but I feel like we really have to appreciate what he was able to do in terms of, and Kate London in terms of it's based off of her books, in terms of that it is a second season, but all the roots from season one are still spread throughout season two, if that makes sense.
It does make perfect sense because you're dealing with the growth of characters, which you don't normally get in a theatrical play, but you do get in a series that's continued. Steve Bradshaw is growing quite a bit.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, he's been through a lot, Steve. I think in season two, we catch him trying to do more for his family, but also trying to follow his heart and desire. He wants to be the best cop that he can be, and he's doing a lot. He's across multiple cases. And actually, what I love, we see Steve not be so, in season one, he was more observant, and I think he would hold his tongue. In this season, I think off the back of what happened of the tower, he unlocked something in him. He's like, I'm going to speak my mind. I'm going to go for what I want, and I'm going to tell people about themselves.
Working with Gemma has got to be a joy. She's brilliant. She's a comedian. She's a dancer. She's a singer. I imagine as a scene partner, she brings a lot to it.
Oh, it was a gem. Like we had never worked together before. So season one was a joy, honestly. And we're both similar. We both do comedy and drama. So we were like, oh my God, you're like me. It's like, we're not that thing of like, we're just dramatic actors. We've both done a lot of comedy. And so that connection was amazing. So season two, I miss it. I miss her, because we didn't have any scenes. So it's really interesting as, in story terms, Steve was missing her, but also in real life terms as an actor, as my acting partner, I missed her as well. And so being able to use that feeling, and yet there were certain scenes where we was almost in the same space, but that tension wasn't allowing us to come together. And it really affected me because it meant that I didn't even see her like offset much because we was in on different days. But I do feel like she's one of the best actresses we have coming out of the UK. And you see the work she's done from Game of Thrones to the comedy stuff. And now seeing her in this role reminds me, I feel, of a UK version of what Patrick Harbison did with, is it Claire Danes with Homeland?
Yeah. And does comedy play a role in how you approach a dramatic role?
Yes, in some ways, yes. Because I feel like the best comedy is always dipped in truth. So, it's just about remembering that. And I bring that to this role as Steve Bradshaw. And, it's really nice to bring out the comedy elements if I can, but this is such a dark piece, it's not there. But we do that off camera, we do that off camera. And there are there's little moments in certain scenes. If you really watch it, there's some laughter, there's some real camaraderie, sort of like police force is like one big family. And I really want to find those moments in sort of the back of the scene shots. Otherwise, it can be really heavy. And actually, then it's not true, because a lot of police have a lot of like fun and laughter because they have to survive. And it is a bit, so there can be some dark, oddball humor, but that is one thing when I speak to police officers, they talk a lot about they have to have some sort of banter between them. Otherwise, they go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, you have to deal with the darkness, somehow. And us as
Yeah.
human beings, we tend to use a little bit of humor. But yeah, again, it has that great Shakespearean kind of wisp of the human element in it that makes this such a brilliant series.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It does. It does. It's that human element is so important. And then I think, the weaving of the storytelling, I got to give it again to Patrick Harbinson. It's just brilliant. It's just brilliant. And I think there's something for us in the UK when we do these like mini series. We're basically doing like big bold stories, but in such a short, powerful way. And in some ways, I think they can have more impact. And in some ways, it's great because it leaves you wanting more.
It does, Jimmy. I'm getting the wrap.
All
so
right.
It's a pleasure to talk with you and chat. Let's do it again sometime.
Definitely, Tony. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.